Hello again. We're going to look at the second way that we can multiply fractions. This one we're going to multiply a whole number by a fraction. And we're going to put it in a story context to make it a little bit easier for kids to be able to see. So the problem is going to be 5 times 2/3. The problem that we're going to look at is Anya made 5 sandwiches. She gave away 2/3 of the sandwiches. How many sandwiches did she give away? Now we're going to use a fraction strip, or just a strip of that we're going to create right here on our grid paper. Remember, grid paper is a great way for kids to be able to create more equal shared fractions as they're doing this, so they can actually visually see it a little bit better, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So we know that she has 5 sandwiches, so we're going to divide these sandwiches, or this strip, into 5 separate parts. That looks pretty good. All right, and we know that we're dividing them into thirds because this fraction is what tells us here, the denominator right here tells us that we're going to be dividing them into thirds. Really 2/3, but we know that the thirds is kind of the way that they've been separated out. So we're going to separate these out into thirds. And here's my first one. Here's my second set of thirds. Here's my third set of thirds. I'm just going to put a little line there so I can see it. My 4th set of thirds. And then my 5th set of thirds. Using different colors can also help us to visualize this a little bit better. So we're going to show how each of these 5 sandwiches are broken up into 2/3 that she gave away. So we've got 2/3 here. In our first one, 2/3 of our second sandwich given away. Another 2/3 of our third sandwich. Another 2/3 of our fourth sandwich. And our last 2/3 of our 5th sandwich. And so now we've got to figure out how many thirds did we give away. So we're going to count up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 thirds. We know our denominator is 3. 5 is not our denominator, which is a common misconception. 5 represents the wholes. The thirds what denotes what they're broken into. So this shows that we have 10 thirds of our sandwiches given away. Again, if we want to convert that to a mixed number, that would be 3 1/3. So our answer to our question, how much sandwiches did she give away? She gave away 3 1/3. If you want to go ahead and make a secondary question of how many sandwiches does she still have left, gives it a little bit added level of complexity. We could say she has 1 2/3 sandwiches left for whoever she wants to have them for. Now, if we contrast that with what we used to do and how we learned, we would multiply 5 times 2/3. We know we multiply across. We know 5 is the same thing as 5/1. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 3 is 3. Get our answer of 10 thirds, which is also 3 1/3. But the big thing is kids are visually seeing where these numbers are coming from. We're giving them context to the problem. Here, the numbers are meaningless. We haven't assigned any meaning to them. But if we use a visual model, especially in the beginning, it will help us down the road to be able to have kids really understand and remember what it is that we want them to do. Thanks for watching.